Alright, so this is already the correct width because that's what the base was, so we'll just go and mark off the end. Like that. Alright. And it's 19.5 centimeters long. Just make sure it is perfect the same. Like that. So it's 19.5 centimeters long. We'll go ahead, pop that like that. Now, for the hole in the center, you need it to be perfect. So, you push it all the way back into the final position. And we have a marking here. And then when you push it fully forward, like that, comes up to there. Now this should be 2.5 centimeters, yes. Alright, so now what is half of 2.5? That's 1.25, so we're going to need a compass like this. So yeah, you need one of these. And what we're going to do is stick the pencil in. Alright, now we need this circle to be perfect. So, okay, so right about now. So just go ahead, cut it out. You can use like these drill bits to cut this out. But, yeah, I don't know, only if you got one the right size. I'm going to use a 28mm, although it's not perfect, but it should work fine for this job. Alright, so once you've drilled your hole, you want to cut these two lines here and here. Alright, now just to clarify, because I don't think I explained it well enough before, this hole is 8.9, well, alright, I'm gonna say this hole is 9 centimeters up from the bottom, so it's 9 centimeters up, and it is 1.75 across, alright? So from the side, it's 1.75 to the middle, and then from the bottom, it's 9 centimeters up, alright? Sorry if I didn't explain that well before. Well, now you know. Alright, so you just want to give it a sand on the inside and stuff. Get rid of all the rough edges and stuff like that. Like so. Alright, now what you want to do is put it on the top of your hidden blade, exactly where you want it to be when it's permanently mounted. So I want mine to be around there. I'm just going to double check for a second that it does all match up. Yep, it's all good. Alright. Alrighty, so you want to put it directly on top. So I'll just zoom in. You want to get your top lid, put it directly on the top. Remember, your short side is down this side. Mount it perfectly where you want it. And then you're going to push down And what's going to happen is these two nails here and here are going to indent the wood. If you can see that they dented the wood there, and they dented it there as well. It's kind of hard to see, but those two nail points made a dent here and here. So now you know where you need to drill 2 holes for the pins to stick out the top. So go and drill where the 2 dents were made by these nails. I accidentally drilled the holes on the wrong side, so what I did is I just sealed them up with baking soda and super glue, and then redid them on the other side. So now we can go ahead and mount this on the top, and hopefully it'll work. Just gonna use my file to trigger it. Here we go. Seems good. Oh, a bit of a failure there. Alright, so it's functioning pretty well. I'd say at about maybe 70% function rate. Sure whether I should make this detachable as the top lid, because it's really handy. If something breaks, you can take it off, but normally you would super glue this on. I might keep it detached for now, and a good thing about the pin sticking through is that it holds it in place, so you can always take it off as well. Alright. So next thing we're going to do is start the wheel. So get a scrap piece of wood again, and you'll put that over your piece of scrap. Make sure it doesn't overlap on any sides, and you'll want to cut, well, trace around the circle on the inside, so you get that perfect circle. And then you want to cut that out. Make sure you take a lot of time when you cut this out, because you want it to be as perfect as possible. Alright, so I cut it out, but as you can see, I left some excess around the sides of the circle. So what you have to do is just go around and sand it like this, and it will help you to get a really accurate circle. Just be very careful and just go right up to the line and not any further, and then just keep test fitting it in here until you get a perfect smooth fit. Alright, so I sanded it, maybe a little too much, but I think it'll be fine. As you can see, it's a perfect fit, like absolutely perfect. Just go over all the edges in super glue, so that it's nice and strong. So just go around the inside of your circle like this, go around the inside, and just like paint the whole of the rim with super glue. Now your hands will start to get really dry from using this stuff, like, and they'll probably get crispy if you're not wearing gloves, so yeah, just make sure you wash your hands and stuff, because it does get quite annoying. And then do the same for your circle as well. So now you should have glued around the edges, and it should still fit, hopefully. If not, just give it a light sand. And yeah, so to the next step. So measure in from the edge of the circle, from the edge of your circle, 2 millimeters. So 1, 2, there. Alright, maybe 2.5, so roughly around here. Okay. So that's where we're going to drill, and then you'll need a skewer, like a barbecue skewer, and you need to measure the diameter of this. I'm thinking this is around 2.5 mil, and then you'll drill a 2.5 mil hole through that mark we just made, and then we'll insert this through, but I'll show you that after. Alright, so I ended up drilling a hole right where that mark was, and it was a 3mm hole that I drilled, which fits the skewer perfectly. Now you want to put the skewer through the top so that it comes out the bottom, like so. As you can see there, comes out the bottom. Now you want it to only stick out as much as 2mm, so as thick as the wood. As you can see there, how it only comes out to the thickness of the wood. And that's where you want to cut it. So go ahead and grab your cutters and trim off the excess. If you use wire cutters, it will mushroom out the end and it will give you a really nice tight fit, and that will help keep the pin in place. Alright, so now you want to glue that pin into place. So you just want to glue that into position so that it doesn't move around. Like that. So yeah, just glue it all up real good. And then on one side, you see how it kind of sticks out? You just want to sand that flush. So you just want to sand this side nice and flat. See how it's flat this side? And then it sticks out that side. That's what you want. Alright, now what I've done is I've gotten old Nintendo DS game packaging, because I'm never going to use it, so yeah, what we want is this plastic here. So get a pair of scissors and start cutting this thing. It might be a little difficult, but you'll get there. Alright, so I've just cut that sheet of plastic out from the case, and now we can start doing our markings. Alright, now you want to set your protractor to a 1 centimeter radius, and then you want to mark this out on your plastic. So just to make it easier, I'm going to just make a little thing for the protractor to hook onto. Alright, now you might not be able to see it, but I've drawn a circle there, and you just want to cut around that circle. So you can either use scissors or you can use the saw, but just to save time, I'm just going to use the scissors. Alright, so just go ahead and cut that out. Alright, once you cut it out, you just want to sand it the same way we did with the wheel until it's nice and round. Alright, so yeah, once you have your circle that's nice and round, we're going to start moving on to the other parts of the wheel. Alright, now you'll want to set a 1.2 centimeter radius onto your protractor. You know what would really suck if this was called a compass? Because I honestly always forget this, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a protractor, but whatever. Don't hate me in the comment section if this is a compass. I always forget, so yeah. Pretty sure it's a protractor. Alright, you probably only need to make it a 1.1 centimeters actually for the radius, and that should be just about right. And then go ahead and draw two circles with that radius. Okay, so make sure you do 2 circles. Alright, so as you can see, I've drawn 2. Yeah, you need to draw a center line through the very middle of your wheel. Do it on both wheels. Now it's probably going to be really hard for the camera to see this, but I've drawn a line through each circles, and you need to create a kind of wing shape that comes out around 2 mil from either side of each wheel. So, like that, if you can see that. So do that to both. Alright, so now you should have 2 wheels that look like that. And now cut both of them out. Alright, so you should have ended up with 2 pieces that look like that. Now you got to start cleaning them up so they're nice and smooth, because your string's going to be running along these and you really don't want that to be cutting them. So just start sanding them off, getting them nice and round and smooth, and make sure you do it for both your pieces. I'll just explain it to you. Is you glue the main part on the bottom, so one of the sides, then you glue the circle that we cut out in the very middle like that, and then you glue the other one on top directly above it. Alright, so it should look like that. Okay, and make sure when you glue this whole thing on, it's directly in the middle of the wooden piece that we cut out. So I'll just show you that. Alright, so this is what you had to do. So there was the circle we cut out, then there was the wheel bit, and then there was the other wheel bit, like that. So they were the 2 circles with tabs, these 2, and then that was just the circle we cut out. Now all you have to do is assemble them so that they all line up through the middle like that. Alright, and then you just put some glue here, stick this on to the very middle, then put some glue here and stick that one onto there, and then you stick that whole thing onto your wooden piece like so. Now make sure that when you glue this on, that the pin that you stuck on this piece here is 90 degrees to the tabs. So see how the tabs go off this way, and then the pin comes out this way? You need it to look like that, alright? So literally just do that sandwich, stick that in the middle of the wood so that the pin faces directly 90 degrees from the 2 tabs on either side. Alright? So that's how you get the wheel. I'm sorry I deleted the videos, but it's pretty, you should be able to understand that. The next thing you need to do is the string. Now for the string, so you get a length of badminton string, and what you do is you get one end of the string and you thread a bit of heat shrink tubing onto it. So put a piece of heat shrink through the tube like that, and then take this and bend it over and stick it back through the tube like that. So it makes this loop. Then get your lighter and shrink the tube, and then glue it into position so that you've got this loop. Okay? So that's how you get that. And then once you have that loop, put an elastic band through it, like just loop it around that so you get the elastic band coming off. And now for the measurements of the knots, make a knot at 7.5. So the first knot of your hidden blade should be 7.5 centimeters away from the very end of the loop, and then the second knot should be 9.5 centimeters away from the first knot. Alright, and then that should be the knots you need for now. Okay, so that's how you get the string. So just go and do that. Alright, now we're gonna need to cut 4 strips. Alright, so we need one. So we need two 12.5 centimeter long strips. So we'll mark that out, 12.5. And they need to be around 5 millimeters tall. So I'll go ahead and mark that. Alright, so these strips are 12.5 centimeters long by 5 millimeters tall each. So you need 2 of those, and you need around 2 9-centimeter long strips that are 5 millimeters tall. And lastly, you need one 3.5 centimeter long strip, which is also 5 millimeters tall. And one strip that is 1.5 centimeters long by 5 millimeters tall. So that's all the strips you need. And now what you do is you glue the 2 longest ones on the very edge, as you can see, of both sides, starting at the front and then sticking them down with some glue. Then you get your 3.5 centimeter long strip and connect the 2 at the end. So this is the front, this is the back. Connect it right there so it joins these 2. And then from each side you measure in 1.2 centimeters and you stick 1 strip. So this strip and this strip. So 1.2 centimeters from this side, measure in, then do this straight, then do 1.2 centimeters in, do another straight line. These ones are the 9-centimeter long strips. And then connect the 2 at the end with the 1.5 centimeter long strip. Okay? So what you need to do is cut a piece of wood that looks like this. Alright, so cut a piece of wood that looks like that, and it needs to be 1 centimeter long from there to there. Alright, so that needs to be 1 centimeter. Alright, so 1 centimeter, alright? And then what you do is you measure on here you measure 1 centimeter away from the bottom here, and then draw a line, and then you stick that piece of wood right there at that 1 centimeter mark, facing vertically. And now the way you get this line that I've drawn down here, you put the wheel in, and then if you look from where this tab is here, so if you look at that tab, and then draw a line straight up from that tab that goes up, and then you'll get to your piece of wood there. And then just stick that bit of wood 1 centimeter back along that line, okay? And now for the other side, again, draw a line from this tab all the way down to the very end, make sure it's straight, and then get a cotton bud that you use for earwax. No, that's not earwax, that's grease for lubricating the blade. So just get one of those cotton buds you use for earwax and cut a small piece that is roughly 1 centimeter long, like that, and then glue it directly at the edge of that line, like so. So glue it right there at the end of that line, and that's how you get these parts in there. Alright, now that we're all caught up, and you guys should all know what I've done, like, you haven't missed too much, just that bit on the wheel, these little bits, and then the stuff on the top, okay? So that's all we had to do. Now the next part we're doing is the top casing for the blade. Now to do this, stick your piece of fresh wood on the top and measure out. Alright, so you'll just line it up nicely with the top of your blade, like so. And then do a mark at the end, like that. And then draw a line straight across. Like that. Alright, so then that should be the same size as those two. Then, put it at the very end of your blade, like that. And do a line at the inside of each two things, like this. So it should be like that. Alright. So do that. And then you'll want to measure your gap here. For me, it is 8.9. So from there, I'll measure up 8.9. So measure up 8.9 centimeters. Yours might be, so you want to measure up 8.9. Like that. Do the same on the other side. And then connect your two lines, like so. Alright, and then you should get that. Now what you want to do is find the very center. So it's 3.5, so 1.7. I'll do this part in pencil. That's the middle there. So you want it to be the center of your wheel. So if you mark these two bits, alright, so that's the middle. Now what you need to do is drill a hole in that middle part around 10 millimeters tall, 10 millimeters wide, sorry. So cut this whole thing out and then drill a hole there that's roughly 10 millimeters wide. Alright, so once you've cut that out, you'll want to get a scrap piece of wood, like this, and you'll want to measure out a 5 millimeter radius, and then draw that onto your scrap piece of wood. Like that. Now once you've done that, you want to get your ruler and draw a straight line through the middle, like so, and then what you want to do is draw this kind of shape here. So just kind of cut off one side on both sides, like that. So then what you should be left with is this kind of a thing here. So if I color that in, you guys can see it. Like that. Now that's going to go in the middle of your hole that you drilled. So you might need to make it bigger or smaller depending on how big your hole was. Yeah, so I'm just going to go cut that out now. Alright, so once you've cut out that little piece there, you want to glue it right so it's the exact same as this wheel here. And you want to make sure it's right in the middle. So use the middle hole that you used when you drew the circle to line up with the middle one on this. And then you're going to put a little bit of glue in the middle and stick it on. Like that. So now it should be in the very center of your wheel. Now you can go ahead and clean it up a little bit with your knife now. And it should be in the center. So just turn it to make sure it's right in the middle. Mine looks pretty good. So just, yeah, rotate it and you'll be able to see if you put it in the middle or not. And then go ahead, throw it back into your hidden blade. Stick it back in. And just make sure everything fits. Make sure it all lines up properly and all that stuff. Yep, seems to be all good. So now we can get started on the lock part, which locks this little wheel. Now for this, you'll need your skewer again. And what you want to do is cut a strip off of the skewer that's fairly thick. Or you can just shave it down until you get the right size. Now, you don't want it to be too fat, but you don't want it to be too thin, because it needs to be quite flexible. So just shave the skewer down until you get like a thin stick, and then split it in the middle like this. So cut it down the middle like that. Alright, so cut it down into a little stick and then snap it off, or cut it off. Alright, so now you should have a little flexible stick thing like that, and this is what you're going to use to lock your little wheel. So line everything up, put this back on so that it's right in the middle, like that. And then right there, you want to mark a line, because that's where you're going to insert your lock tab. And then what you want to do with that is go ahead and cut out this area where you drew that mark. So cut that out. Alright, now you want to insert the little stick you just made and cut it right in the middle of the hole, like that. So it should look like this. And then go ahead and put it onto your wheel. Now, hopefully, if you've done it correct, it should all function properly. Now, if you want more flex, because it might need a bit more flex to it, you can cut out the side bit of the hole. So you can cut out this area here, so that it can flex more without snapping. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, now glue it into position. So glue that little stick in place. Alright, now I put a little piece up here because the string was pulling up too much, so I did that to hold it back down. You might need to do that, I don't know. But yeah, it should all work now, so pull out, it extends, retracts, extends, retracts, nice and smooth. Alright. Okay, so now if you want, you can, if this is functioning properly, you can, if you want, glue this onto the top. I'm not going to do that right now, because I like to see inside for as long as possible. So next we're doing the wheel on the top of the blade. So what you'll need for this is, again, another piece of wood. So get a piece of scrap, like this, and mark out a roughly 6mm circle. So you'll need to set the radius to 3mm and mark out a 6, like that. And now go cut this out. Alright, now, once you've cut out that little circle, you'll want to sand the outside. And then, to make this as accurate as possible, get a needle like so. And you'll want to punch it right in the middle of that circle. Okay, so, like I'm doing here. So, put it right in the middle of this circle. Make sure it goes through. You don't need to use a needle, but it'll just be more accurate. Alright, now if you see any wonky sides, see how one side's bigger than the other? You want to sand that side, okay? So I'm going to do that now so it's even all the way around. Alright, so once you've got it as round as possible, you want to put your needle back through the hole in the middle. And then push it all the way through so that it sticks out a little bit on the other side. And now you want to line it up with the very middle of your wheel. So that's where mine is. Now you might want to sink it in just a little to get it lined up. Then once you've done that, get your glue and put a bit on the top of this wheel. Line it back up. And push it down. And now hopefully you'll have a perfectly centered wheel. Like so. So once you've done this, you want to get a scrap piece of wood. And then basically, it doesn't really matter what wheel you're making for your blade. It can be any design or anything. This is a gear I designed and then 3D printed. And that's what I'm going to use as the shape of my wheel. But any shape, you could do a circle, you could do a triangle, whatever shape you want for the wheel, that's what you can use. But I'm using this, so just go ahead and trace it out. Alright, so you also want to mark the center of your shape as well. Alright, now once you've got your chosen design, just cut it out. Alright, sorry it's raining outside, so it might be a bit noisy, but now once you've cut out your wheel and sanded it all, you want to grab a needle again and punch a hole right through the middle of your wheel, so right there. So it comes out like that. Okay. And then what you want to do is, so yeah, actually before you stick this on, if something's not working, fix that now, because you won't have time to go back and change it, because it'll all be glued up and you'll have to break it open again. What I might do, or what you could do, is, because we left that gap here, and there's 2 gaps in the corners, and there as well, you could add screws to hold this on if you don't want to glue it on. So I might do that later, but I think just for the purpose of this tutorial and keeping it simple, I'm going to glue mine on. I'm going to add some grease to the mechanism so that it works smooth. So, yeah. So I'm going to grab some grease, like that. Put it on there. I'm also going to add some oil to the wheel and string system. Now that should smooth out the mechanism a lot. Alright, now before we start assembling the hidden blade, you will want to tie a knot right there. So if you can see where I have the knot, so tie a knot right where I'm pinching. So hold that down, and like that. So now you can see there's a knot there, stopping the string from going in. Now you can put the lid back on, give it a test. Alright, so I'm having some issue, but it seems to be a temporary issue. Alright, so once you're happy with it, you want to start assembling your blade. So just glue it on a little bit. I'm only going to glue mine a little just in case I want to change anything. So you can add screws if you want to add screws, but yeah, that's what I'll probably do later on. So yeah, just go around and glue it on. Alright, now once it's all glued up, and it should be working reasonably, oh, so I forgot to glue that part, but yeah, it should be working reasonably well. I'm just gonna glue that right now. Forgot to glue the bottom part. Alright, now that it's all glued up, we can attach the decorative wheel. So what you want to do is put a little blob of glue, or a lot, depending on how strong you want it to be, sorry. And then line up that pin with the hole in the wheel, and then push it down. Alright, then once it's in and glued, you can remove the pin, and you should have a spinning wheel like that. And there you go. Now I can remove the elastics. Now the next thing you want to do is attach your ring. So just put it through and measure the length from here to your ring finger, and then tie a knot at that distance. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, now you should have this, and you're nearly finished, so don't give up yet. It should function. Of course it doesn't function on camera because that's the way it goes, but this is what you should have, and it should function nicely. This thing is actually really quite thin. I'm pretty sure it's only, yeah, it's 1.8 centimeters tall, which is not bad, especially for a wooden hidden blade. But the only like the actual dual action bit is really small, like it's hardly nothing, and it's super light as well. Alright, so you guys should be really proud of yourself for building this. We just have a small bit to go yet, and it will be nearly done. So you want to grab another piece of wood. Now we're just making the arm brackets. So you need to cut 4 strips that are 3 centimeters long. So just move that out of the way. So 4 strips that are 3 centimeters long. So 4 3 centimeter long strips, and these strips should be 6 millimeters tall. So go ahead and mark that. So each of these are 3 centimeters long, and they are 6 millimeters tall. So you need that, and then you will need... Alright, so you're going to need 16 pieces that are... 5mm long by 6mm tall. So I'll go ahead and mark them out. Alright, so that's what you need. So 4 strips, 3 centimeters long, 6mm tall. Then you need 18 little strips that are 6mm tall and 5mm long. Alright, so go and cut all these out and make sure you don't lose any of them. Alright, so once you have all your pieces, you want to get just one of your long strips, put a bit of glue on the end, and then attach your small rectangle onto it. Like that. And then do another one on the other side. Don't worry about sanding it before you glue it, because we're going to sand it after, so like this. Then stack another one on top, so there's 2 stacked on each. Like this. So you want to do that for the rest of your 4 pieces, and then sand them all so they're nice and smooth. Alright, so once you've made these little pieces that I just showed you how to make, we want to start attaching them to the blade. So on the side of your blade, so flip it over like this, and then get your pen and mark in 2.5 centimeters. So this line right here is 2.5 centimeters. And then get one of your things, your little hooks, put some glue on each part, like each foot, and make sure you line the front of it up with that 2.5 centimeter line we just made. And then stick it on, like that. So we drew that 2.5 centimeter line, and then we put the front of the hammer there, and then put the rest of the hook apart from that. Alright, make sure it's on that strip, the 6mm strip, on the base part. And then go ahead and do the exact same measurement on this side as well. Alright, now the back is similar, but is a little bit different. This time we're doing the exact same thing, but only it's 1.5 centimeters this time. So as you can see, alright, we measured 1.5 centimeters back, and then we're going to glue on your next hook. Like that. Alright, so still in the strip, only it's 1.5 centimeters away from the back instead of 2.5. And now just do the exact same thing on the other side as well. Alright. And then that's what it should look like. Now you can go over and give it a final sand if you want. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also varnish it, or if you want to, you can engrave a symbol on the wheel. So yeah, any finishing techniques you know, go for it and do it. I can't really be bothered because it's 1:34 in the morning, so 1:34 AM, so yeah, I should probably get to sleep, but yeah, you're finished. This is the Hidden Blade. Well done if you are building this with me, and if you made it this far, you should be proud of yourself, because it is hard to make this, and yeah, congratulations. But if you were just watching the video and you didn't like build it yet, then I would highly recommend building it. It's a great experience, and you'll learn how the mechanism works and all that, and plus you get a free Hidden Blade pretty much if you already have the materials. And yeah, so well done. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya. So yeah, it works. Well done. Alright, yeah. See you guys. Alright, thanks guys for watching that video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and if you built that hidden blade, honestly, I'm really proud of you. It's a really hard project, and good job for sticking at it. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed my very first proper tutorial. Alright, see you later.